Hello, I'm Fadelessword. Most people use Fade or Fadeless, and welcome to another episode of Fade Yaps. Today we're playing Risk of Rain 2 in the back. I haven't played this in, oh my god, I think over a year. So I'm not gonna be good at this, nor do I remember how to play, like, at all. But that's okay. We'll just have this in the back. Today we're gonna be talking about a little fun topic. And this is mostly because I've just been enjoying it so much recently. We're talking about writing. We're talking about, yeah, why I like writing and the good parts about it, along with some of the harder parts about it. Because there are a couple harder parts about writing, for sure. Kind of, sort of. At least I find difficult. You know, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. But yeah, I'm also recording this very, very, not late in the night, actually, but, late on time. For what you don't get late in the night, you get, late on time. I'm recording this, on the day it's supposed to upload. Late, by the way, as well. And that has nothing to do with, you know, long stream. Long but fun stream. But, you know, so, you know, it's a little late. I decided I wanted to go to bed yesterday. So I did, and I didn't record earlier because I was busy. Anyways, writing. Yippee. Wow. On topic. Totally. So, I really like writing. It's kind of weird to say that I love writing because it's like I haven't written something until recent in forever. I think it's been 5 or 4 years since I've written something. I want to say 5 since I've written something. Well, that's weird to say because I have written stuff, but I guess writing a story that I wanted to write, I haven't gotten to do that more so in 4 to 5 years. 5 years. Like a story I made up, essentially. You know, I haven't gotten to do that one in a while. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Long stories I made up. I've done some short stories, which were fun to do, but I haven't done, like, long stories that I'm like, oh, wow, look, it's a long story I made up with an original world and everything. I've done short ones, or, like, short written pieces of, like, some stuff here and there, right? Like, I think you've seen some of them with, I don't remember the name of the video, but there was a video one for sure. So you've seen those, but I haven't done like big written pieces in a while, like long novels essentially. So I decided just to run it down and do it recently, very recently actually, I think like September. I decided I had the idea for like a while that I wanted to do it, and then I was lazy, so I didn't do it. And it is what it is, but aside from that, right, I think I love writing. I definitely forgot how much I liked it until lately when I started doing it again. But it's so therapeutic, I think, is how I describe it. I describe it as therapeutic because you get to sit there and write and make up this world and storyline kind of something you want to make up, right? And, you know, you can model and design the characters after, like, your own lived experiences, but with twists and stuff. So I think the funnest part I've had with writing is taking these characters that are essentially parts of me, right? Like, they're not all me, right? Like, technically one of the characters is me, but my VTuber model avatar, right? But technically speaking, the way I choose to write characters is a lot of, I have this trait about myself, or I have this thought on this thing about myself, and I take that character and I take that thought and trait and I model a whole character around that, but pushed to an extreme. Not an extreme, but like that one aspect pushed to an extreme, and then from there adjusted so that it is more so a real livable character, you know, like a person who could exist. mixed with fantasy, so they won't exist, but you know, kind of exist, right? That's how I go about making characters, and I think when you get to explore those like different parts and aspects of yourself, you get to learn a lot of stuff and like get a lot of self-reflection in and whatnot, and kind of change your opinions on some things over time as well. So I think those are always like really, really cool when you make characters like those, and then you start piecing together like, this is this way because of X thing or whatnot, right? I think that's always really neat. But yeah, I mean, those are important. But yeah, that exploration into your thoughts and opinions and feelings, I feel like is always so unique and cool. And it's something that'll be for you specifically. It'll be like specified to you rather than like, I guess you could use tropes, but even with tropes, you're like modifying a trope to something you like and something that works for you. And that like modification of a trope into something that's more akin to something of your likes and interests ends up like changing them a lot more than you'd think they do. And I think tropes are just awesome sometimes too, because sure, they're something that exists, but they exist for a reason and they're used for a reason. And it's not like you're just one for one that trope, right? It's like you're modifying it into stuff you enjoy as well. And you're modifying it into an aspect that you think works for you. And I think that's always cool. So I really love writing because you can get like those thoughts and opinions out. You can make characters just based on yourself, and you get to explore that aspect of yourself that maybe you wouldn't have been exploring before, that now you get to because you've designed these characters with these thoughts, opinions, and feelings. They're like your children. Not really. I mean, kind of. You definitely can view them as that, but a lot of that like designing of characters and the emotional weight you put behind them, or comedic weight sometimes, is a lot of like your thoughts and feelings just melded together to make this one aspect of things you just enjoy. So yeah, I think that's really important to me with character writing and writing in general, is one, basing it off of like experience and stuff. Like, this is my experience in X or Y, so that's why I essentially want to make this character like this. And of course, you have to go outside of those experiences sometimes to make like different stories and storylines that are akin more to what you need and what your story wants and desires. But that's still cool to do, in my opinion. I feel like that still really adds to that idea of like self-reflection and thought and the catharsis and therapeutic aspect I mentioned of it. Because if you didn't think of characters in a way where they have to experience these things maybe you've never experienced or have to deal with it, you get to have that opinion and view of these of that thought process that you wouldn't have originally thought yourself in, and how you'd imagine you'd handle something like that. And of course, I guess your first venture into that, or maybe even first few ventures into that, will be kind of immature. Because again, you don't know how it is, right? You're guessing. But then you get review and feedback, and then you get an idea of, okay, well, I did this well, but maybe this was a little too immature of a like thought process to have around this concept. So next time I go through it or do a roughly similar concept, I'll know, okay, this was gonna work it out better. That feedback and review is what really helps you piece together in future aspects what really like is the best part about your writing and what you think you can improve. And when you improve, you know, like, okay, that's great. Now I've improved on this, and I know that I should write more like this. And you figure out a style. This is all to like figure out a style while getting more perspective and experience over time. Which is, in my opinion, really great, because learning all that can help you grow as a person and grow as a writer. Which I think is always important. I mean, growing as a writer can be subjectively important. You don't have to be growing as a writer if you don't want to be a writer, right? But I think it's always cool to like gain the... Growing as a person, that's always important, right? But it's always cool to gain that experience and perspective and knowledge. And then improvement. Who doesn't love improving, you know? Improving's such a vital part of life and everything. That I feel like it makes so much sense that you want to improve on some of those things, you know? But yeah, that's my opinion on that, you know? Like, I keep saying this, but it's like, it is an opinion where it's like, you have to kind of do it to understand a lot of like, what, or honestly, sometimes you can just understand by reading as well. If you read certain things, you also get to gain that perspective and knowledge, but it's more someone else's perspective and knowledge and not one you've worked out for yourself. Sometimes you can put your own thoughts into it and work it out that way. But a fun part about writing and reading as well, because it helps to read when you write, you know? It definitely helps if you read more while writing because you get to see more. You kind of get to get more perspectives and views of how you want to write and better yourself as a writer. But yeah, writing's so fun because you just get to flesh out this world of characters that you just love over time. Maybe you won't love your characters like right at the start, but as you grow with your characters and keep like developing them, if you do keep developing them, you get this perspective and this view of growth. Just like how people grow, your characters will grow too over time. And I think that growth is always something you look for and be like, wow, my character grew by doing this specifically. Like my character changed its perspective because they did this. And honestly, when I look at my character do that, I'm like, maybe I should change my perspective on this or that, or on some specific aspects as well of stuff, right? Because if my characters can grow, I can grow alongside them. I think, yeah, that's always important to me. I feel like if my characters can grow, then I can grow with them through the different experiences they've shared, I've written them into, that now I've gained myself. And then, again, the feedback aspect that I mentioned. Having that feedback really just makes it so that you know, like, what to change and what to view and change your perspective on going forward. You know that stuff now, which is important to know. Because as you develop and grow more mature as a writer and learn more aspects of what you want to write, that knowledge is invaluable. But yeah, I really love writing. I know I do it like offhandedly here and there, or like I've only written a few things so far and not like a lot, but I feel like it's just so fun to use. It's so fun. You get to put your metaphors into fruition. You get to make anecdotes that you like doing. You get to make a silly world that you just can love yourself in. Or you can love like the world you've created in. It's so cool to have that on hand, that ability to just make this world you've come to fall in love with. Or you really like love. Or you piece together the aspects of that world that you've like just, again, fall in love with. As you flesh out your characters that you fall in love with too. It's so unique. As like an author to like create something that then you put out in the public to let people view and review over and kind of see your thoughts. Maybe you had a character you like that other people don't like, and then you get to sit there and you're like, okay, well, why don't you like this character? What made it so that you don't like this character? Because I love this character, but what aspects of this character, now that you've seen them, don't you like? And what aspects compared to that do I like? You get to learn that stuff as well. Which so much shared, and it's so much shared experience. That's always so unique and cool to see. And again, yeah, you grow with it. You really just grow as a person as well, because now once you put it out there, at least it helps you a lot with growing, because I think you get those reviews. Some are like more praising of like, wow, you wrote this section really well. Or sometimes you can get reviews that are like, wow, this section sucked. Why did he do this? Why did your character do this? And sometimes you're like, well, I mean, they do that because that's what they do. That's what they do. They do that because your character, maybe you have a certain goal for them, but maybe that's not clear to the viewer, and you're like, well, or viewer, reader, and you're like, okay, well, I think this is really clear why they did this. It's not that clear in general why they did this. And, you know, you have a perspective as an author of knowing everything in your story, or at least knowing a very good amount of the work in your story. But when you create a flawed piece as well, you get a lot of people who talk about your piece. They're talking about this thing you've made, maybe not 100% positively, but maybe they're putting out like more theories and perspectives. Or maybe like, since you haven't made a perfect piece, they're like, well, they can theorize and comment and talk about it more. I think that aspect's always really cool. But yeah, I mean, I'm just rambling at this point. I love writing. It's so fun. I haven't been doing it too much recently, like for the last couple of weeks, because I have been so busy. But I plan to hopefully lock in and start writing way more very soon. Very, very soon. But yeah, that's me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry this one's coming out pretty late. I hopefully can record earlier from at least the next couple of weeks. I hope. I really hope, actually. But yeah, thank you for watching. I appreciate all the time you've taken to listen to me babble and rant about this and that and whatever I choose to rant about on this channel and whatnot. Again, just like with writing, as I mentioned, it's never really easy to put your thoughts out there in the public to let other people know. And I feel like a lot of my thoughts end up being, wow, that's so cool, or wow, that's so neat. And even then, you still, you know, listen and watch this. So I appreciate all the watches you do for these. And comments as well. Whenever you guys comment on this, I love responding to them. So if you'd like, please feel free to comment. I do try to respond to them as quickly as I can. As quickly as I'm able to, at least. But yeah, I mean, thank you for watching. Hopefully I'll get more edited videos out as well. I have been a little bit lacking on those recently, but I hope to get back into editing soon. But yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you guys next week for another Fade Yaps. And yeah, I mean, if you have any topics you want me to talk about, feel free to comment them down below as well. I believe liking and subscribing helps, so hey, I'd appreciate like or subscribe as well. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'm sorry I suck at Risk of Rain. I am so lost. I've just been wandering around thinking about my life choices here. But yeah, thank you for watching. Goodbye. I'll catch you later, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.